Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I think I did it right. Please, somebody say something.
Hello, everybody.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Little
yeah,
on
you
my
did it
John to my
right.
German supermarket.
What?
Next question: can we be heard?
Yes, you
And
can.
we're not muted. I checked.
checked.
Counterpoint.
Hooray!
What did you
Alright.
What did you say?
We love not fundamentally fucking it up. What?
Thanks.
I might have said she little on my John till I supermarket.
Wait, sorry, what?
She little on my John till I supermarket.
Yeah, little.
Yeah, little.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well,
Sorry,
hello everyone.
Not good.
Welcome. Welcome to the Ghostlight Theatre. I got it. I'm the only technical German in here, so I got it. 10 out of 10. Anyway, welcome to Untold Realms, the Ghostlight Theatre session 8. As you can see, there is no longer a Malin tag because there is no longer a Malin. So until
She dead, Joe.
Jesus,
Fucking died.
Jesus.
She's not just dead. She's like super dead.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
she's fucking dead.
No,
Soul
motherfucking gosh,
unretrievable, body decomposing.
Jeez,
It's like
you could be a little nicer.
There's-
Just a thought.
I'm trying
yeah,
to
the
get it.
BBG. You look at a person and you're like, oh my god, are they really dead? And then sometimes you look at a person and it's like, wow, you are paste. You have been like
Jesus
run over by a
Christ.
Mack truck.
There's no running over checking the pulse. It's that's a corpse.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You
I had the
look like
BVG.
jam.
I had the BVG go like, "Yo, make a wish."
Make a wish, clunk. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
Speak your
It's
last
like-
words.
It's like, oh, I think I'm about to die, and then there's the level of Make a Wish where you start getting visited by Marvel cast members. That's how dead you were.
Marvel cast Spider-Man, the Force
Getting
Advanced.
fucking visited by Marvel cast members.
What can we say? It's rough out here.
It's rough out here, boys. We're so
That's rough,
Jover.
buddy.
Oh, my lungs.
Anyway, would anyone like to give a recap of what happened last week?
So someone fucking died. The end.
That was the recap.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't
yeah,
get it
fair.
from all that conversation, most of the game was spent in combat, and most of that combat was spent with us going, "Oh fuck! Oh, don't be dead."
I mean, yeah, that was most of the
That
combat.
really does sum it up. The
really
motherfucker escaped, but not after he killed me. Had me come back to life, not realizing that it wasn't Malin who brought me back, and then Malin died. So I was just sort of like sitting there going, "Oh fuck! Hang on, no, I'm meant to be the one who's dead." So basically, the reactions to it were Little John was like, "Oh, whoops." Fucking Charms was like, "Well, you know, I guess it happens. I don't care for this person." And Pepper was just like, "This blood is on my hands somehow, and now I've got to go deliver this goddamn letter that was given to me 3 sessions ago.
Yeah, I think that's about right. 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Either way. Oof.
Basically, in the immortal words of that one very anti-authoritarian song, shit's fucked."
Shit's fucked.
Shit really hit the fan.
Yeah, it really did in one of the most
John is
colossal
now
ways
just John.
possible.
Everybody knows.
Ay,
Yeah.
ay, ay.
Everybody knows shit's fucked.
Shit do be fucked.
Shit do be
would
fucked.
say.
And with that,
extremely fucked.
yeah. With that, though, are we ready to begin dealing with the aftermath of a party member's death?
I'm ready to
Yeah.
be sad.
All right. Remember,
Fine.
everybody think of sad thoughts, discontinued snack brands, nostalgia from the 90s.
The dog died.
No! Too sad.
Oh, Jemima getting cancelled.
Yeah, sure, that one.
Yes. That's sad. for
Too
me. I
sad?
love Jemima.
So I'm not that sad about.
I mean,
I'm not like dog is dead levels
I mean,
of sad about you dying.
You can
Then
be. I'm not saying you. I just maybe don't
You're-
say it on
you're-
stream. You know.
You're missing that one sock, even though that a lot. Basically, it's just there. The
Oof.
senior one.
Well, with that, I'm going to put us on the game screen. Makeshift, take these clowns into game.
Sure.
Makeshift. Whack the peep.
Makeshift, whack the PP.
What is that saying?
I don't know where that came from.
No,
It's the
Is that
bailiff, whack his
it's
PP.
bailiff. Bailiff whack his peepee.
No, is it like it's smack his
It's a
nuts
me.
or something?
No, it's bailiff, whack his
Also,
PP.
I'm
No.
Either way, we're
also
getting
I
off
am
topic.
recovering
Game.
from like a
What
chest
kind of a
infection.
nail effect is it?
Yeah,
No, it's like
I'm
stay
recovering
smack
from
his
like a
nuts.
chest infection at the moment.
Mhm. Be nice to
Okay,
yourself.
so
I'm recovering from a
anyway.
chest infection at the moment, so I might cough a bit.
Anyways.
Just a heads up. I apologize.
It's fine. We can just say
Yeah,
it's
Socks is-
your tears.
Socks has an infection in both their internet and apparently chest, where their internet's
Yeah,
being kind of whack right
currently-
now. So
I'm currently
yeah.
hotspotting off my phone.
Oof.
Yes, this is going to be a notable, I think, bigger delay than usual, but we're gonna do what we do best here
isn't
and
that
just
bad?
roll with it. Huh? It's probably like a half second longer, maybe a quarter second longer than usual, but in
Oh,
conversation,
ew.
it puts a dent in things. Also, I should
That's
move the
disgusting.
player's view over to here. There we
Yes,
go.
please.
Because
This
you're
is
no
inaccurate.
longer on that combat field. Oh, that's right. What my players are seeing right now is in the program we're using for a virtual tabletop. It's the thumbnails we use for stream. It's got a character on it, which is most certainly no longer with us.
Thanks.
So,
There we go.
I love the
yeah.
reminder.
There you go. We're all sorted. We fixed it.
All right.
So anyway, in the game now, after your characters left the battlefield and you all went back, I assume you all went back to the cafe to catch your breath. Nope.
Yes.
You good there, Socks?
Yeah, no, I just saw the big cube arrive.
Oh, okay. So after you, oh my god, I didn't look at the screen. Anyway,
God.
Oof.
so I assume all of your characters go to the cafe.
Yeah.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you all arrive back into the cafe. Is there anything you would like to do right as you sit down? And also, who carried Marlin's body?
Little John did.
Yeah, I was holding it.
Yeah. It would either have to be multiple of us or Little John, to be fair. I don't think any of us, aside from him individually, have got the strength to do so.
Gotcha.
Literally just in the sense of people are heavy, man.
I'm a big, strong boy filled with grief.
I'm a big old lad.
I'm a big old lad that is big old sad.
Well, yeah.
And Alderic enters into the cafe behind all of you last, with Henrik as well. They just waited for everybody else to get in first. Alderic had kept himself disguised since he probably didn't want all of his city seeing his human form kind of massively gravely injured, because it's still the early morning, but there's a few more people out and about now, getting their day started.
Mm. Don't you love being on your morning commute to work and you just see someone carrying their dead friend on their back?
Not like the princess carrying more like not like slump over the back.
Not like backpack carry.
Even better. Wouldn't you like to see your mayor absolutely beat to shit with someone else carrying a corpse?
True.
Well,
Just like living in Australia.
Fucking oof.
I'm gonna ignore that. Well, first make sure that we weren't being observed too heavily before just making sure to lock the door behind us.
You give a quick glance around. It seems that Alderic was using some sort of magic to kind of push attention away from all of you, though not obscure all of your appearances. Because, like, there's nobody who's stopping to look at... Even though there's only a few people out, nobody's, like, stopping to look. Be like, holy shit, they're carrying a corpse.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna make sure the sign on the outside remains closed
You do that. And Henrik speaks up and goes, well, good news. We do still have the finger bone. So,
Indeed.
not everything has been lost.
Hmm. Oh, not everything's been lost. Our friend is dead. Sorry, it's not
Yes.
your fault.
Oh, it's all right.
Hmm.
Luckily, though, it would seem that we were able to push Roko, I think it was his name, to the point where he had to demonstrate some of the magic of the finger. As you all saw, it seemed to be able to paralyze all of us for a short time.
Hmm.
Quite the horrid experience.
Indeed. I'm sorry to ask everybody to try and recall it, but do you remember any other details of how the bones seemed to behave?
There was a gap in its anti-magical defense.
Oh?
I assume it has to do with how the bone is shaped or formed. But the shadow it produced, when exposed to magical light, wasn't that of a whole circle. There was an indent.
Ah.
Something which left his lower extremities exposed to magical effects.
Hmm.
Any other details that anybody can recall?
He...
God.
Pepper,
Hmm.
you cast a spell once before at the portal, and now here again. Could you describe the spell to me in detail?
Are you
It
familiar
might
with
have...
hideous laughter?
Yes. What does it do?
It makes the recipient perceive everything as hilariously funny. And so
Indeed.
they, that they start laughing uncontrollably. They may collapse or, like fall in a ball on the floor laughing, or if they're a little bit stronger about it, they might be able to stand up through it. But
Yes, but
yeah,
why wasn't he affected? There has to be some condition to it.
I don't think you understand. He was affected. It just wasn't him who was affected. It was like it affected his body separately to the way it affected his mind, because all over his body, like all those mouths appeared, and he started laughing from those. It was working. It just wasn't working on the one who was piloting the damn thing.
Yes. So why didn't it work? What's the core of the
Presumably,
spell?
presumably he's particularly resistant to that sort of charm spell or what have you. But
Ah,
maybe his body isn't.
I believe
Begs the
as if
question of how
his
many consciousnesses there are in there, though.
I believe if his body was truly immune to it, he would not exude any sign of the spell taking effect.
That's what I mean. Is it seems like he's resistant to it, but either partially or entirely, his body is not.
Hmm.
But it does also make me wonder what his body is made out of. If it's
Well,
able to laugh without him.
that's quite simple. Especially since you knew from the, I won't presume and say beginning, Alderic, but you knew he was a lich.
Indeed, I did know. You can set your theorizing aside. You're correct. In in some ways. The reason that that spell was ineffective against him, and only against his flesh had any effect, is because there are more than one mind inhabiting that body of his. And that body that you all saw, well, that was not his true body. That was something that I had met a very long time ago. He was projecting his consciousness into that one. There was disturbing magic.
So,
That
if
begs a
he is
question. Why am I drawn to his projected self in that body?
It's the bones.
Does it count as him truly being in that body, at least temporarily, or is it just the bones? Would I be drawn to his main body? Why wouldn't he put the powerful things inside his actual self? Or maybe he did, and it's because his consciousness is being projected through this construct or what have you that I'm getting drawn to where his consciousness, his soul is, I guess.
I
don't know.
A lich with a phylactery imbued into an object wants to hide that object as well as they can, because that phylactery holds their soul. So, it would not make his main body powerful enough to where it can be detected by people containing bones of death, like you do, Pepper.
So
it would make more sense to have...
method.
Unreliable?
So it's an unreliable method.
Lichdom is always unreliable.
Oh, I mean the use of the bones to hunt him.
Perhaps.
Because don't get me wrong, we will hunt him.
It would make sense that this body is perhaps one of its more larger collection. I can speak English. Collection of bone. Perhaps he has multiple bodies for multiple purposes. One for collecting bone, one for doing other tasks, and one for his actual soul to inhabit. But this is speculation. Nothing which does us any good here and now.
Unfortunately, your speculation is close to the truth.
It
You
tends
see,
to be that way.
That body that we were fighting didn't just have a few bones inside of it. The ribs, or whatever word you have for them, that he uses. They are relatively plentiful, at least comparatively to the true body of Moros. However, it seemed like there was only 2 bones belonging to Moros within him. At least of the true body. Unfortunately, there are far more inside of his true body.
Then his true body must be quite a distance away.
Indeed, and distance is of no consequence to Moros. He can project his real soul through any body within his bloodline. And his bloodline, it would seem, is his phylactery.
Wait, so he's got more than a small incentive to keep procreating.
Indeed, although he hardly needs to do anything. I met him, his original body, well over 200 years ago. It's hard to keep track of everything at this point, maybe even 400. But he has plenty of relatives, some distant, some close. But too many of them are innocent. I can't simply just gallivant about and kill all of them, just to rid myself of him.
The longer you wait to do so, the more of them there are.
I know.
You're right. No, you're right.
Have you ever heard of...
How many?
How many indeed? How many indeed?
Do you want the honest truth, or do you want the political truth?
We are not standing in front
I
of a
How
mayoral
many?
speech here.
I want to know how many. That's it. I don't care for your policy or what have you. You're being diplomatic. How many people can he inhabit at a moment's notice? How many bodies can he escape into?
Well, if I was standing in front of an audience, which I suppose you all count, I would say the Valentius bloodline is one that has stretched across many generations and has been foundational to Pleiadorus and its prosperity. And they have stretched quite far. But if you wanted the honest truth from me, I don't know how many are part of his bloodline, and I don't know how many are even aware that they're part of his bloodline. It could be 100 individuals, it could be 10,000.
Quite the challenge, quite the puzzle. Though I think it's quite useless for us to hunt down every single relative of his.
Indeed.
Charms sits down by the desk, by the bar, as he leans on it.
Although I do have some good news for you if your hearts are set on going after what is the closest thing to death incarnate this world has ever seen.
Well,
By all means.
You see, the kind of lich that he is creates their phylactery through a bloodline. Now, theoretically speaking, since all living creatures after enough generations eventually become related to one another, it could mean that such a lich could take over the entire planet and become unstoppably powerful if they simply procreated enough. However, that is yet to happen. I have at least a theory that he's doing something to reinstate his power on his bloodline. The problem is, I don't know what that is. However, it would seem that eventually, once the generations keep going, their genetic similarity to him becomes thinner and thinner until they are essentially not granting him any more power.
It diffuses out.
a diminishing
Indeed.
return. So, there's a set number of relatives, however distant they may be, that would actually allow him to take control. Not large enough to where he can control the world, but I would wager a bet that it's large enough to be quite influential. Perhaps not democratically, but place them in the right positions, in the right institutions, at the right time.
Say, Mr. Mayor, you wouldn't happen to be a part of that bloodline, would you?
Me, a part of his bloodline, as if I was related to that dusty old husk.
Don't laugh at me.
Sorry. That laugh came from over 400 years in the past. Or perhaps 300. No.
If he truly was part of his bloodline, we wouldn't be alive to speak of it.
I
Indeed.
don't know, these types always like playing with people, but can you blame me for being curious?
Curiosity killed a cat, but satisfaction brought it back.
That is understandable, so I will share with you one piece of information about myself. And Again, I have gotten quite old at this point, but if I'm not mistaken, I do think I could have been related to either his grandfather or perhaps I could have even been capable of being his brother. He was born at a similar time to me, but, well, age has harmed my memory a little bit.
It will do that.
I am all for hypothesizing and such, but at the end of the day, I'm a man of action. However planned out that action might be. What can we do now to move forward in either killing him or simply just destroying the body?
I have a
Making
job I
sure
have
that
to do
he's
first. Sorry. go on.
discouraged from going after us again.
I have a job I have to take care of first.
Something to deliver, yes? No?
Yeah.
Well, you're not the only one. Apparently, he seemed fit to give Malin her last words. And she gave those to me to deliver to her daughter, Tolly.
I have a letter.
Wonderful.
I've
Now,
been asked to hand deliver it to her.
well, I so happen to know from where she came. As in, where her daughter would be. If I'm not wrong, it shouldn't take us too long to travel there. And since I still
You
have
shouldn't.
Hmm?
You shouldn't divert from the main quest. I should take care of this.
Do not get me mistaken. As much as I would love to continue the hunt, there are no trails to follow. None that would benefit us following. We could follow his physical body. Sure. We would require your bone to do it. But not only have we lost Malin, Aldrich here isn't in his top shape.
Which is
And
why you
I'm
should stay here and recover.
Oh,
Politely
I
speaking,
think you would all
I-
do well to recover. We've all nearly died today. Me less so, but I'm not exactly in the best shape right now.
And neither are
Okay.
you, Pepper.
I'm well aware. I'm well aware of what shape I'm in, and I'm well aware who I have to thank for that.
He looks at you. Indeed.
I get to live because she is dead. It should have been me. This is the
Nay.
least I can do to pay her back.
If it wasn't you sitting here being miserable, it would be her. And if it was not her, it probably would have been John. And if it wouldn't have been John, it might have been me. Death comes for us all, Pepper.
I understand that. What I
Good.
need you to understand is that that doesn't change the fact that it's still bloody upsetting to see someone who's got so much to lose take your place.
Do you have a death wish?
This is the least I can do. You know, my death wish is nothing of your concern.
As long
But
as we
just know
work
that I don't plan
together.
on having it. Just know that I don't plan on having it fulfilled anytime soon. But then neither did Malin, so
as long as we work together, whoops, the well-being of everyone is everyone's concern. Revenge might burn great in you, and perhaps your candle shall burn bright and fast.
Hmm.
But sleep for the night. Whatever
right.
you do it in the morning.
You're right. You're right.
Good.
Sorry. Did we decide what to do with the body?
Well, now that you bring it up, I would like to make a proposal.
Hmm.
You see,
Go ahead.
Mullen has passed under my watch. I should take responsibility for my inability to protect her, especially against someone who I've known personally from my past. I will likely not be able to resurrect her, but the clerics in my service, they will likely be able to at least preserve her body. I presume there is someone who wants to visit her.
Her daughter. Well, her
Well,
child.
certainly.
I haven't asked the kid.
Right then. I will keep her here in Pleiadorus, and once she has been visited, she will be given a proper burial if she cannot be resurrected.
If could I roll Arcana to see if Charms knows about gentle repose?
Sure.
Ay, that's the lowest I've seen so far.
Oof.
Got an 11.
Let me take a quick look at the Gentle Repose spell, so I can...
Cleric Wizard. Necromancy, Ritual.
Spell casting, Cleric, Control F, and Gentle.
Yeah, Stricky's just sitting in the corner with a popcorn.
Oh, if it's only second level, I'll say... Yeah, I'll call it an 11 to pass. You know the description of Gentle Repose.
If you're able, find someone who can cast Gentle Repose on her.
More than able. I have people who can at least attempt to resurrect individuals.
Yes, well, Gentle Repose will extend that window of time.
Right then. Any opposition to me leaving now?
Charms will look
Go.
to John.
Mhm.
Charms will just look to John and see what he says, if anything. He pointedly makes eye contact.
What?
You're the one holding her.
Opinions?
Whatever you think is best for Mullen.
Charms not. Well, what would be easier? Alderic. If you take her now or later.
Now is likely best.
Alright. John.
And
And he just motions to Alderic.
John Jenny carries Mullen over to Aldrich. Almost like to hand off gently.
he takes her from your arms and kind of like Princess Carrie poses with her.
Charms
And then
will
he...
go and unlock the door for him.
Thank you, Charms. And he steps through the door, and after a few steps out of the door, you see a bright glowing light come from him as he suddenly transforms into a more draconic shape and flies up into the sky.
Charm sort of sighs as he closes the door.
I'm gonna take my leave. That I need to rest.
You do so. Best of luck.
Thank you. And she just sort of, with a somewhat 1,000-yard stare, slowly trudges up the stairs. And you hear the door upstairs to the little room that she's got sort of close with a bit more force, bit more of a thud than usual.
You do that.
How unfortunate it is.
Charms, do you also go to sleep?
Not right now. He's gonna
Gotcha.
stay. He's gonna stay awake for like under 5-10 minutes.
Nice. You pull the just 5 more minutes action.
Yeah, he's going to just tinker with his homunculus a little bit. Get the brain thinking.
You tinker with the homunculus. And Little John, what do you do?
Little John, full of mourning, leaves the room to go back upstairs. And occasionally, every once in a while, you'll hear a slight sharpening of the axe. Like the sound that goes shing, shing.
Oh, if that's the case, you would get a knock on your door frame.
Come in.
And you see Charms step inside with a sharpening stone. Not just one, but
Oh.
2.
Whetstone?
Yeah, that's what it's called in the D&D, but this is a sharpening stone. 2 of them. Cloth and a water skin. And he hands it to you. For a more cutting edge, use this one first, wetting everything. Sharpen it like you do. Wipe off the edge. Wet. And use this one. And he holds up the second stone. As I pull that from my smith's tools that I have.
John begrudgingly accepts your offering of the sharpening tools and just goes, thanks.
You have no need to thank me. Simply return the tools tomorrow.
Fine.
Good hunting. And he leaves the room. Going to bed.
You do that.
Doing a long rest.
Is everybody going EP?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody goes EP for a long rest.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Wow, I wonder what that feels like.
You get the
What do you
forever
mean? You have the
EPs.
longest. You have the longest of rest.
Yeah,
The
to be
longest
fair,
rest of all
you're just-
time.
Yeah,
You're doing
in
the
forever
turbo
box.
sleeping right now.
I got in the
Yeah.
forever box.
You're in the forever box. Scoot, you're forever sleeping.
Oof.
Gingy, get in the forever box.
Anyways, back to my hovel.
Word.
In you go, in the pit.
The pit of death.
And so we keep Briar in the pit. You've seen the pit.
Get me out of the pit, please. Just a little violence.
No, you're staying in the
Just a
pit.
little bit. Just come on,
Shut up.
Come on,
Sorry, let me just close the door.
Close
Yep,
the
we'll just
pit.
seal it back in there. There we go. Alright, cool. We've contained it
Before you
once
break-
more.
What is this NPC Briar? SC
Please, I wish to be free of the pit.
And so, you all take a long rest and wake up in your various states of,
America.
how well you slept. States of America.
Sorry.
I had
I'm
a
in a
real
mood.
Texas night.
I had a bit of a Florida night, not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Ohio, skibbity reels. Never say that
I've been you know those ironic brain rot things where it's taking the piss out of people who say that shit?
Yeah.
I've been engaging with a lot of that lately, and I think it's genuinely started to poison my mind.
Oh no.
I need to
Just
stop.
rotting
It's
your
like it's
brain.
like drinking lead. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do that.
It's like eating Lunchables. That's how much lead I'm eating right now.
Drink the paint.
At least has a nice
Anyway.
cinnamony taste. So anyway,
Yeah.
How would you know?
With lead infused cinnamon toast crunch.
so the next day arrives. Birds are chirping, flowers are blooming, and you're all waking up probably kind of depressed.
Oof.
Just like
Damn.
the real thing, I say, not feeling any sense of depression at all, actually.
Uh-huh.
Pepper is gonna immediately sort of. She wants to go for a bit of a wander. She wants to go for a meander.
You do that.
Like, no, like she's gonna like leave a note just saying, "Hey, I've gone for a stroll around the town. Don't come and find me. I'll come back when I'm ready. I just need some space."
Gotcha. You leave that note. Where do you want to leave it? Counter, table.
Yeah, she's gonna leave it. You know the thing that you can do where you get a piece of card, you write on it, and you like fold it to make it more obvious, so it's like standing up.
Like a little tiki tent.
No, more
Yeah.
like if you have a piece of stiff paper and you fold it in half and you just put it on its two edges, so it's propped up a little bit. You know, it
Yeah.
makes a little triangle. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little rom-com note.
Yeah, a little
Also-
rom-com note, exactly.
Also, for continuity's sake, it is worth pointing out that yesterday you got back to the cafe in the morning, and then I went straight to the long rest. So we basically just skipped a day because I assume your characters probably didn't want to do much after almost dying and one of them literally dying.
Everyone's at
Yeah.
home moping. We've all been having like soup and baked goods.
Oh, I
The
want
depressive
soup. I
Yeah.
want some
Yeah, no
soup,
soup
man.
for you.
No, you're fucking dead.
Oh,
Dude, I'm sorry. You're a corpse. If we tried to give you soup, you just fester.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Johnny
Nothing like
pouring
the
the
fun-
fucking
I'll get
soup
back in the
onto
Yeah.
pit.
Owen's mouth.
Get back in your fucking pit. That's right. You know
Get
you know
back-
what the deal
Get
is.
back in your forever pit.
Again,
I'm not gonna
people,
say you
speak
know
for
where you
yourselves.
belong because you don't belong in the pit, but like back in the pit.
Charms is doing tinkering mostly, but nothing of consequence.
Word.
Oh,
I'm gonna I'll call whoever's in the cafe right now Group A, and Group B is going to be
Me.
Shibby Pepper. Keep forgetting the names.
Yeah.
I'll start with Pepper since I'll just say they woke up first because they're probably feeling the inability to sleep the most.
Yeah,
And
so she's
so-
gone out. It's not like it's a little brisk and early in the morning. She's gone out to go and get some, to just go around the town and just to relax and hopefully not break into tears too much. She goes out to a bit of a bakery. She gets some little pastries or what have you, little breakfast pastries. Just sitting in the park, eating them, lying down, looking at clouds and wondering what the fucking point is. Um, and she sort of does that for a couple of hours on repeat. Checks out some shops and gets sad and leaves the shops because she wants to show something to Malin. And she's like, I've never had that urge before in my life, but you know what? Now that she's dead, it's like I want to now.
Word. During your, I'll say like 2-ish hours, hour and a half of wandering about and being sad and going to bakeries, uh, give me a perception check. DC's only like 5.
The perception check?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, she is gonna make an attempt to fucking leave later. But that's neither here nor there, and the others don't know that yet. I rolled an 18.
As you are meandering about town, you notice somebody who makes you do like a double take. As they have you have seen a good number of people with antlers recently, but you notice somebody who they catch your eye, and they kind of remind you of Mullen. Give me and when you look at them, they got the antlers that are kind of similar to them.
She's like, so Pepper's kind of like by the wall at this point. She's sort of headed over that way because she's considering just fucking off and leaving without the rest of the group. So she's kind of like, like the customs gate at an airport. Is it like that sort of area?
So you're by like the city gates or entrance area.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
is kind of a gated area, and you're getting closer to that. And the person you spot's like walking towards you from those gates, like they just passed into town. And it looks like they have some sort of like cat sitting on their shoulder or something, some small animal.
Do you want me to try and? Because I think I know who this person is. Do you think that Pepper would know who this person is from what she's been told?
Give me an easy history check. I'll say
Easy history check. Okay.
Yeah, it's only like a DC 5.
Okay. Well, I got a 16, so that's a fair bit better.
You have a strong suspicion that this might be exactly the person you are going to go visit, just based on the visual description.
Shit. She sort of like goes to approach the person. Hey, sorry, I know that you don't know me, but I think I might know who you are.
Briar, what's the name again? Is it Talia?
I know the
Yes,
name.
this is
I
Talia.
can say it if you want.
Word. You notice is some very short stranger just approaches you. They're waving you down. They're saying they know you. You just entered this city. This could be a scam artist.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she thinks it is a scam artist. She'll turn sharply and look Pepper up and down and say nothing and just like slightly turn away.
Hey, wait, no, sorry, no, I let me be a bit more clear. Do you know, sorry, is your mother Malin?
She will immediately turn back to you and be like, yeah?
Not to cut straight to the point, but you were kind of disengaging from me there. I understand it.
No, I was. I thought you were a scam artist.
honestly, good instinct. Fair play. Yeah. On one hand, you might have just saved me a journey. On the other hand, that doesn't make this any easier. I have a letter for you from your mother, which I was sent to go and deliver, but I hadn't had the chance to leave yet. I think you should come with me.
Talia kind of tilts her head slightly, and she turns and looks at the creature on her shoulder. The little thing on her shoulder. It's kind of sitting almost kind of like, you know, those like fur scarves that are like an actual just pelt of animals. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sitting like that, just like back legs around one side of her neck, the front on the other, just sitting there. And the creature kind of looks at you a little bit, turns and looks back at Malin, and it says a few things. You don't speak Draconic, right?
I mean, let me check.
You might want to see if you don't.
What languages do I speak? Because I forgot. No, I do speak Draconic. It's like the one other language I speak.
Oh, fuck! No, I actually have to think of what they said.
Now you gotta roleplay.
No! You hear the little thing on her shoulder speaking Draconic.
Safe, safe, safe.
Just the same word 3 times. And Talia kind of like nods her head and then looks back at you, and you notice that she's definitely not making eye contact with you, but she's looking almost to the side of your head, almost like at the point of your ear.
Ah, a classic.
Okay.
If you want even further proof that I'm safe, I've got the letter here, and I pull it out of my back pocket and hold it out to her.
She'll reach out and take the letter, and
you may not want to read it entirely just yet. We've got a private spot that you can do that, but this way you've at least got proof through handwriting, I suppose. I don't know if you know your mum's handwriting, actually. That was
I do.
Okay, good. There you go then.
I'm looking for someone that's supposed to help me. Could you maybe help me with that when I'm done reading this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It would be my privilege.
Mm-hmm. And she's going to then follow you, and she won't read the letter just yet.
Okay.
You do that.
Have you eaten on the way here? She's sort of gonna like offer her one of her little baked goods as they fade out to the other group.
Give me a D6 roll to see what baked good you offer them.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got some pastries, but let's chuck a D6 to see. I want to see this matrix that you've got for this. It's a 2.
I'm going to open up Google Images, and 2 you said? The second one?
Yeah. The second type of pastry you find.
Italian cream stuffed
cannoli
puff pastry. I think this is a cannonseed. I can't pronounce Italian words.
Can you just drop the image inside chat, you fucking clown?
Yeah, I'll just copy.
Do you need me to read it, white man?
You hand her one of these. There you go.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, she will eat the hell out of that. Oh, please don't tell me my internet.
That's the second image that comes up when you Google random pastries.
It's a cream horn.
If any viewers are curious what image I just looked at and they want to play along at home, that's how you do it.
Yeah, no, she'll eat the hell out of that. That looks
Sick.
delicious, and she will scorf it down.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yep. That's all I got.
Do that. Back at Group A. So, Lil John Charms, you two have already woken up. What have you been doing over at the cafe?
Well, what have you been doing, John?
Well, John wakes up, mopingly has breakfast, mopingly has his coffee, mopingly. He's just a very sad boy. He's in the corner of the cafe, quiet to himself, not his happy-go-lucky self.
Mm.
It's like that one image of SpongeBob with the coffee.
Pretty much. Pretty accurate. Maybe a mix of like sad Keanu, but like yeah.
Yeah.
Just sad.
I'll say you were the one who discovered the note from Pepper this morning, just saying they went for a walk.
Yeah.
Charms would approach you at some point and sit across from you as he hands you another cup of coffee if yours was empty.
John takes the mug and flicks it a little bit first to check to make sure it's not a mimic mug.
Give me a D20. Either give me a D20 for strength or for perception, whichever you choose.
Can I roll investigation to see if I knew?
Sure, go for it.
I have
it
to
did
know if I
nothing.
knew beforehand.
Investigation seems pretty safe. Yeah.
Oh god, they're all idiots.
So you say either strength or what?
Strength or perception, whichever you'd prefer to use.
I'm gonna say perception because I'm not trying to like flick it to like break it. I'm more of just like flicking it to see if I get a reaction out of it.
Gotcha.
You're trying to
Yes,
provoke it.
As you
flicks
you
it, breaks the bottle. It's like fuck.
as you
All
flick
right,
it, Charm says, I'm not entirely sure if it's the thing or not. The mimic.
Perception. You give it a little squeeze, and this feels nothing like the mimic mug. You're quite confident this one's a regular mug.
It's like I since knowing it's like okay, this is bug. It's like, and he goes, thank God, and then takes a sip.
You do that, some good old coffee.
Ooh, yay! I didn't get assaulted again.
It was the coffee that was the mimic. Whoa!
Mimics
Bugs
can
in your
take
mouth.
the form of
It's
a lot
not
of
coffee. It's
things.
bugs.
But Charms looks at you in a bit of a more serious, more serious than he was before, which is impressive. Is this the first time you knew someone who has died?
Yeah, pretty much. Not a nice feeling.
No, it isn't. And I'm afraid to say that with age, it doesn't lessen. You just remember it less often.
Still, it doesn't hurt the first. Still hurts the first time. Not nice. Wish you were still here.
You and me both. And you're right. It does hurt. And it should. I mean, if you weren't broken by the death of a loved one, then you already were broke. I think you can utilize this pain to great extent. But do not become a slave to it. I cannot even begin to tell you how many times I've seen blood rage, bloodlust consume someone to the grave. Wield it like the axe you do. But do not forget whose master it is. And I'm sure you'll see great steps forward.
I'll take that into consideration. But all that matters for this axe is that it's going to split his head open.
I'll be very happy to see that day. And Shums will stand up from the table. Go back to tinker on his homunculus bird.
John just continues just sipping on his coffee, knowing that it's a safe mug and will not kiss him.
Motherfucker.
Word.
Listen, he is traumatized, not just from your death behind that mug, okay? It was the first trauma. It was the first trauma.
So, at that point, as you're just kind of like chilling out in the cafe now, can I say Pepper and Talia? I can kind of jump cut you back here?
Yep.
Do what you will.
Word. While snacking on some baked goods, you make it back to the cafe. And everybody you see what looks to be a discount version of the woman who just died walk in the front door.
Wow! Fucking
Pepper
wow!
That's snacking.
Number one, you don't even give me the chance to describe her. Number two, you call her the discount version. Bitch, she ain't the discount version. She's the sequel.
She's the Walmart.
No!
Also, it's less of a snacking thing and more of a, oh god, you're the child of my now dead friend. Let me just make sure that you are at the very least fed, because I'm worried about you, and I'm worried about what news you're about to understand.
You should be.
Lol. So anyway, Briar, please describe your character to the folks
Of course.
as you walk into the cafe.
Yeah.
Discount Mullen.
I'm gonna put you in a fucking headlock.
Gonna put you in the hole.
I'm gonna put you in the pit.
Fucking
Anyway.
do it, Car. You're too short to reach my neck.
Get in the fucking
I don't
pit,
have
you
to reach if you stooped that low. Anyway, yeah, you see this thing walk into the cafe. She does look a bit English McTavish. She does look a bit like Mullen, but there's a lot of very notable differences. The first being that she is shorter than Mullen by a good foot. She's maybe a head and a half taller than Pepper. She's quite short. She's also very skinny. She's almost kind of like a twig. So, you know, how Mullen was thick in all the right places, Talia's very much not. Her hair, while a little wavy, it's mostly just straight and cut short, except for 2 braids that she wears in front of her face, similar to her mother's. Her horns actually aren't all that close to Mollen's. They curve in the same way that Mollen's does, but they're actually pretty short because she's very young. And her little ears, very similar to Mollen's. They're that pretty brownish reindeer color. Second thing is that while Malin wore a skirt, Talia does not wear pants. She's like fully satering it out. She has got all of the reindeer fur going on, tail out, flicking slightly. And lastly, she's got a little thing around her neck, and it is a moving, wingless drake companion. It's small, it's about the size of a large cat. And it's got this like cool green and white. I don't know. Is it a mane? Is it? It's just a weird
mane
looking.
Seems like a yeah.
Yeah, it's just a weird looking drake companion with no wings, 4 feet, and it has these red inscriptions on what looks to be a skull instead of like a scaled face. And that walks in behind Pepper, still chowing down on those pastries because girl didn't eat yet.
Pepper, on the other hand, is looking very worried at the other two, and just sort of, beckons Talia to come in and sit down, but then rushes over to where the other two are and just sort of like huddles them in. So we don't have to go anywhere to deliver those messages.
I can tell.
'Cause, yeah, that's Talia.
That's Miss Talia Blackwood.
If you don't mind, Charms, I might break the news rather than leaving it to yourself, because while you're smart and what have you, you don't have much tact.
You can tell he stops himself. And then resounds to saying, "You're the poet. I shall leave the crafting of words for you. But I will have to tell her the message Molly left her."
Absolutely. I'm not saying don't do that. Just maybe give her a moment. And she like sort of looks up at Little John. Are you doing okay, bud? You doing all right? Me too.
He is sharpening his rage into that of his axe.
Well, may it strike true as ever. I'm gonna break the news, but I would say stay close and yeah. All right, cool. And Pepper turns back around, and sort of walks over to I presume the table where Talia was indicated to go to. I don't know if she sat down or not, Briar.
She sat down at the bar and was kind of like she has both hands on the bar and she's leaning over to look at the like coffee stuff that's behind the bar, trying to like you could if you look close enough you could see her eyes like flitting from part to part on the coffee machine.
Did you want a drink or anything?
No, I
See
think I think coffee tastes really bad, like dirt. No, I've never seen one that sophisticated before. And she'll sit back down on the stool and kind of like rock slightly.
It is pretty good, isn't it? Talia, I've got some news to discuss with you, and I'm not sure you're going to be a fan. It's not particularly good news.
I know.
You know?
Mm-hmm. My mom's dead.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I know. And her face kind of falls a bit. And she does look sad, but she doesn't really have any other reaction.
I won't ask how you know. Just sometimes you just get a feeling, but
No,
did you want to see
somebody
her?
told me.
Charms is gonna cautiously start to approach the desk beside Pepper, like a sheer distance.
Wait, somebody told you?
Mm-hmm.
May I guess who?
She turns and she kind of looks at you, and she turns, looks you up and down, and you kind of see her eyes go wide behind these silver glasses. And then she looks back at Pepper, like, oh, okay. Sure?
It wasn't Morrow's, was it?
She kind of, like, furrows her brow a bit. I didn't ask his name, but If that's the name of the god of death, then yes.
Indeed it
That'd be it.
is.
Hmm. He basically showed up, told me that my soul was no longer protected. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I think I kind of understand, but I don't know if I want to know the details. And then he gave me Maya, and she kind of reaches up and scratches the head of the dragon. And then he left. Oh, and he also told me I had to find this wizard guy.
Mm-hmm.
His name starts with an H. I'm not good at names. I'm much better with faces. He said the wizard guy would help me figure out the resurrection spell.
Well, we might have some good news about that, but I will say maybe you don't want to know the details, that it might be worth saving that letter for later.
She kind of like looks down at the letter still in her hand. Okay, do you know what's written in it? Doesn't look like you opened it.
Yeah, it was briefly mentioned.
Mm.
Although, even I don't know all the details of it.
She's going to look at you for a second, and then she's going to turn and put the letter on the bar and open it. And just start reading. Just completely turns around, disengages, and just starts reading. Like, she has no inkling that that might be rude.
Yeah, the tism is strong with this one.
Correct! We figured it out! I'm proud of you.
Yay!
Pepper kind of doesn't bat an eyelid. She's like, people deal with things their own way. Some people deal with it by making food-based puns, you know, like, it is what it is.
This is a real chalky situation.
She'll read over the letter, and it only takes her, like, about 45 seconds, and then she'll gently fold the letter up, and she'll tuck it into, like, a little side pocket on her backpack, and then she'll turn back around. No, I still don't know the details.
Oh, okay.
She looks a little bit sad, but again, she's not really showing much emotion other than just a slight downturn in her expression.
When Charms can tell that she's done reading, he's gonna speak up. There is one last message Malin would like you to have.
Oh?
She said with her dying breath that she is sorry and wish to apologize.
She says that a lot.
I think she really quite felt that there was a lot for her to apologize for.
I wish she didn't feel like that. But when I get her back, I can tell her that it's okay.
Well, with any luck, you can tell her yourself once we've sorted out this. What you mentioned, someone said a resurrection spell.
Yes, and she gets a little excited, and she straightens up in her posture. I read about this legend once that there's a resurrection spell that you can do that if you have really expensive. I think it was a diamond in the spell that I read. It was a diamond and possibly something else. But I don't know that spell yet, and I need help to find out how to cast it, and I also need my mom's body. So when I asked Morris about it, and then he said that I should find Henry. No.
Henry.
Yes, Henrik. There's a K in there somewhere.
Well, the good news is that at least the body and the Hendrik bit are going to be done at the same time for you. Because
Is he with my mom's body?
yeah, I believe so.
Oh.
Above
Okay.
table, I also am just so bad with character names. So I if I've fucked up the dragon's name already,
The dragon's name is Alderic.
That's Alderic.
And,
Okay, cool.
And Henrik is the guy who hired us for the
That's right.
heist.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Henrik is here with us in
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So yeah, scratch that. Well, the good news is, two of those things can be done fairly quickly.
Oh.
We have your mother's body under protection of a friend of ours, and Hendrik is around here somewhere. Not quite sure where.
And when you say that, you hear the front door bell ring, but you don't see Henrik walk through. Instead, you see the short, golden-haired individual from before, who you all, except for Talia, you all recognize.
That's
as
the other one.
Vertin. Talia, you just see some short woman who may or may not be a child. You can't quite tell because they seem to be human. Walk in the front door, and they glance around the room quickly, and their eyes kind of settle on you. And they wander over towards you, raise an eyebrow, and then they put their hand up on top of their head, and they kind of do this motion of pointing it over towards the top of your head, as if they're trying to measure your height.
She's probably similar, maybe a bit taller, but yeah, she might be a bit taller than Laverton, but not by much.
She would be smacking your nose if doing that hand thing.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
Yeah. Laverton's really short.
Is Laverton shorter than Pepper?
They might be the same height. Laverton should be 5'2" or something.
Yeah, Pepper's
Maybe
3 foot something.
Pepper's 3'6", which is why she was upset when everyone was talking about how short Laverton was.
Yeah.
Because she is still taller than Pepper, who is not short. She's just a fairy.
Then if Laverton is 5'2", Talia is shorter than she is. Talia's Talia's 4'10", 4'11". She's very short.
4 foot change.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, she's not.
So yeah,
she's not done growing yet.
she's probably sitting on a chair that makes her a little bit taller than standing height. I feel like.
Yeah,
Are
absolutely.
you on one of the bar chairs?
Yeah, she is.
Word. So Laverton walks over to you, does that height measurement thing, and you're about equal height. And they just raise an eyebrow, seemingly a little bit confused.
I'm actually shorter than this. I'm just on the chair.
Laverton, you're not that short.
And then you can all see Laverton's eyes lock on to the little dragon creature sitting on Talia's shoulders.
There
I'm
you go.
really fighting saying Talia.
I know, I'm so
But,
sorry.
It's all right. IRL campaign or private campaign name. Don't worry about it, folks. But
Don't worry about it.
you see Laverton look straight at the dragon, and they go from like eyebrow raise to like their eyes do that thing where like the eyelid goes like halfway down to almost show like annoyance, and they shrug at the dragon, like a what the? They give like a come on sort of shrug.
You see the dragon, Maya. She kind of like stands up on Talia's shoulder, and she tilts her head kind of like a cat at it, Laverton. Like, does a little paw thing on Talia's shoulder.
And after that, Laverton, it does like a really like big eye roll. Like you've never seen them emote quite this much. Their face has usually been really plain. But they give a really clear eye roll and then they just like walk towards the staircase.
Did I do something again that I didn't realize?
She's very
No.
upset a lot of the time.
Oh,
It's nothing of your action. And Sherm's gonna look to that dragon thing on her shoulder and he's gonna say, in Draconic, who do you serve?
serve. Serve no one.
That Pepper's gonna go like also in Draconic. Yeah, like serve, and does like the little wrist thing. The little, like
Yeah, like serve.
flips her hand down. Yeah, yeah, serve.
Serve queen.
Maya kind of hops off of Talia's shoulders and onto the bar and sits very regally, again, like a cat. And the tail kind of flicks slightly, and Talia turns to watch her. Serve no one. Protect child.
Why?
Good.
Told to.
By who?
Moros.
Do you act as his eyes and ears?
No.
I see. And he's gonna go back to Common and look to Talia. Did you make a deal with Maros at all?
No, I don't think so. I didn't ask him for anything, and he didn't ask anything of me in return.
I see. Quite the peculiar choice Moros did then.
He's weird. And not in the way that people call me weird, more like in the... He talks funny. And he's not direct.
A
Gods
lot of
never
people
tend
are, to be fair.
I don't think I like gods all that much.
I mean, that's fair enough. Just don't say it too loud. They might hear.
If they get offended that easily, do you think they really should be gods?
I mean, probably not. But
Exactly.
then again, I am a god. My job is upsetting them.
Oh. How rude of... I have you at disadvantage. Miss Talia Blackwood. I am Imkorla.
Imkorla. That means, the Great Charms?
No. Al means great.
Oh,
Im means gifted.
gifted, that's right. My Draconic is a bit rusty, but I think I get it most of the time.
I assume you've already introduced yourself. Or...
myself. I mean, I did I tell you my name, Talia? I don't know if I did.
No, you didn't, but you said my mom's name, so I think that's okay. But it would be nice to know your name so I don't call you the pink one.
It's not the worst thing I've been called, that's for sure. My name, that people call me anyway. It's Pepper. It's nice to meet you.
And Talia will, like, really awkwardly kind of stick a hand out for a handshake.
And Pepper will take the handshake and like do the little thing where she, you know, instead of like holding her hand like you would a handshake, sort of cups it like you would like a noblewoman's hand, I guess.
Oh.
She's trying to be really, really polite.
Did you know that you're really tall?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean,
obviously not
relative-
by Dragonborn and Orc standards, but for someone that's also a fairy, you're really tall. That's cool.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you for actually recognizing that, because these lot keep calling me short, and I don't think it's them that realize that they're freakish. You know?
Hey.
Not you, Little John. You're called Little John for a reason. You're also relatively short for one of your stature. I apologize for calling you of freakish proportions, John. Chums, you don't get away with it.
I have no need to be offended by such remarks. But yes, our half-orc over here is Little John.
Hello.
And then like John does like a little like tip of the little hat.
I like your hat.
I really like your glasses.
She kind of looks a little confused and touches the side of her glasses, and as she reaches her hand up, you notice there's like a silver chain around both of the... What are those parts of the glasses called? The ones that get tucked behind your ears?
The arms.
Yeah.
The arms of the
There's
glasses.
a little silver chain around the arms of her glasses. And it seems to be because she might knock them off. So she's like, oh, yeah, chain, and then just puts her hand back down. Thank you.
Little librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's not as nice as Henrik's little glasses chains, but they're there.
You... Yeah, Big Shift, did you see what I typed in Roll20?
Yeah. Let me look real quick.
That's the voice of a man who did not see.
You didn't. You rolled for a different spell to check the Arcana. You can roll for that one if you'd like.
Yeah, I didn't mean earlier this session. I meant like earlier in the campaign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll throw a little roll and I'll consume a little distilled mana. Give me guidance.
So you do that thing with the pouring of the
Yeah,
thing?
so...
Oh, Talia's gonna watch you with interest.
Well, Charms takes out a vial from his coat, from the inside of his coat, and pours it on his hands as he rubs it like a lotion, as it quickly absorbs in. As he recalls what he knows about resurrection spells with a combined 22.
Nice. Although the spell is quite rare to have been documented, it happens very uncommonly, but it is recreatable enough that even Aldrich mentioned he has clerics who can try and perform it. People are aware that you do need at least 1,000 gold points worth of a diamond, some very expensive diamond is needed.
They're
and
also
you were aware
very
of that
aware.
as well.
They're also very aware of the fact that the spell is aware of market forces and will adjust to the current trade.
Yep.
The worse the economy, the less diamond you need.
Funny enough, That is kind of technically what's literally happening because the weave is alive.
Yeah. I
The way
know.
you look at the economics, man. God fucking damn it.
You were talking about having some parts for resurrection.
She kind of like snaps her attention back again, not directly making eye contact with you, but shifting her gaze slightly to the side. Yeah, but the resurrection spell, I can't remember exactly if it has a proper name. It just, in the book that I read, it was just called the resurrection spell. It said you need a diamond worth at least I'm not exactly sure of the monetary, but it was a very expensive diamond and corpse of the person that you're trying to bring back, I think. It was very rudimentary in a very old book in a very bad library. If I had a better library, I probably would be able to find a much better example.
There are degrees to the legends speak of resurrection. Though the one that you're thinking of requires 1,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
Oh. And she, like, her whole face just falls. That's gonna be hard to get.
Perhaps not.
Hmm?
Are you aware of who Alderic is?
The Grand Dragon? That's the mayor of this city, right?
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
He felt responsible for what happened to Malin, and has taken it under his wing to ensure her potential resurrection come to fruition.
Talia looks a little confused.
He spoke very uncertainly about his cleric's capabilities.
My mom met Alderic?
We all have.
You all have. That's really cool. And she like kind of grins a bit. Was he really big?
Oh, yes. No.
No.
Not for the majority of the time.
All the books say that he's really big.
His natural form is. We have seen it once.
He gets bigger.
Oh,
He sort of.
of course he has
shape a
multiple
lot.
forms. That makes sense. It's a grand dragon. Duh.
He has a dragon form, a humanoid form, and, funnily enough, one of a feline.
A cat?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would he have a cat form? Isn't his head like a goat or a ram? 'Cause I know Aldestrel's is an owl, and I know that there's another one that I think might be more aquatic in nature, but I know that Alderic's wasn't the feline head, I think.
You're correct. Could you imagine the amount of attention he would pull walking in his draconic form around town?
Yeah, probably a lot.
Now imagine if he looked nothing more like an alley cat.
No attention. Able to get around much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of
Now you're
getting
getting it.
around, I think we have a grand dragon to meet.
What?
You said it yourself. You're on the road to try to resurrect Malin.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the valiant effort.
Mm.
Well, someone has to. Might as well be me.
Not just you anymore.
Indeed.
You want to help me?
That was already part of the plan, is that we don't let her stay dead.
Okay.
Though perhaps through different channels. But we shall help introduce you to Aldrich.
Oh, I don't know about that.
How come?
I might get too excited and then start rambling and, well, I've been told that I probably shouldn't ramble as much as I do. And meeting a grand dragon, which would be really cool, I might get a little too much.
You know, the thing that is said sometimes about, especially grand dragons, believing that knowledge is power, definitely applies to him too. I don't think he'd be upset by you having enthusiasm about him. I think he'd rather find it flattering.
Mhm.
Are you sure? I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend a grand dragon. That sounds a lot more scary than offending a god.
Considering who you are, I think he wouldn't be offended at all.
I also think that whoever's told you that you shouldn't ramble maybe hasn't exactly set the best impression in your mind of how people interact with people with such enthusiasm as yourself.
Perhaps they just weren't very learned. He says as he pulls out his mechanical bird.
Talia's eyes
they
immediately go to the bird and she starts staring at it like, oh, that's cool.
Shiny.
She really
The
wants
amount
to look at it, but she's not going to. She's gonna like,
The amount of hours I've talked to Archimedes about whatever construction I'm working on.
You named it Archimedes.
Indeed.
Hold
Though
on.
he's
I
not
have to
too
remember who
much.
Archimedes is. It's history.
The
Hold
bird.
on. I know, no.
Yeah.
the actual Archimedes, I gotta remember. She looks at you for a second. Like the famous mathematician Archimedes?
Precisely. I utilize a lot of mathematics in my everything.
Is it fully mechanical?
Godson.
No, it's not fully mechanical. And he's going to open up his the mechanical bird a little bit in like its stomach,
Oh.
and you see this red crystalline gem.
Oh.
As he says, this is its housing of the weave, which it utilizes to empower itself.
Of course. That makes sense. She kind of like leans forward and looks at it. She doesn't touch, but she leans really close and like moves slightly to get a look at some of the inner workings through that open. Did you
It's gonna
use
point.
size 7 gears or size 12?
Oh, I didn't use any of the side gears.
Really?
But I made my own.
You made your own?
By trade, I am an artificer. I invent things.
Oh.
But my specialty lies in fine blacksmith. I found the side gears lacking in what I wanted to accomplish with Archimedes here.
I guess
I
it
needed
makes
a more
sense.
delicate touch.
True. Size 7s do have a tendency to grind really badly, especially if they're not polished correctly. And most people don't polish them correctly.
But we're getting distracted as he begins to slowly,
Right.
gently
Sorry.
close up Archimedes. A conversation for a later date.
You said you know where Henrik is?
We do.
He should be in this very building.
I think he's going to be the sort of person that you might actually enjoy, judging by that conversation.
Sorry.
No, please, look. I tried to squeeze it in there, but I'm much the same about my music. You're in good company.
It seems like it.
And as you mention that, you hear some footsteps start to come down the staircase from the other end of the cafe, or I guess the back end, I should say. You're not on.
Oh, well.
Anyway, you hear some footsteps, and whoever looks over that way can clearly see that Leverton is holding the hand of Henrik as she leads him downstairs. He seems to be fumbling about with the book as this happens. And,
Nice of you to join us.
Oh, sorry. Just a moment, Leverton. This, well, and as they both get a little bit closer to like conversational distance, like a regular distance, she lets go of him. Well, Leverton got my attention. I suppose they didn't really inform me of anything, but we have a new guest, it would seem.
Hello.
Indeed we do.
I'm Talia.
You can't tell from the resemblance.
Yes, it's nice to meet you, Talia. And he reaches out his hand to shake yours.
She looks at it for a second, and then she does the same kind of awkward, stiff handshake she gave Pepper, and then pulls her hand back. I was told to find you. By Moros?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Moros knows my name.
He didn't...
Well,
he said your name, but he mostly described you. And you look like the person he described. And if your name is Henrik, which I hope it is, then yes, I was sent to find you. Well, I chose to come and find you.
Well, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that the god of death can describe me. Well, anyway, I have some good news for everyone. My mind just immediately went to the professor from Futurama.
Good news, everyone!
Good news, everyone.
We finally found a way to make hentai real!
No!
That's great news.
What you should do and what you can do are two very different things.
Yes! I'm now being hunted.
Wait, so if this is Futurama, would John be fried?
Oof.
Yes.
A discussion for later. Anyway.
Yes.
Hess just asked me if she can bust in like Wormstrom from fucking Futurama.
Yes.
So anyway, he says, well, I have some good news. You see, well, since I was able to watch so much of Roko use his magic, I might be able to, after some very careful research, reverse some of his magic on Little John.
Oh.
Wait, really?
Oh.
Not the news I was expecting, but that doesn't seem like a bad thing.
Yes. Well, technically I could try it on anybody, but since we know that it's the Modify Memory spell, it's best to start safer on something smaller than, well, he looks over at charms. More significant details.
What did he mean by that?
Well, you used to be a part of Aldistrel's... I almost forgot his name. Aldistrel's horde. And he had taken quite a bit of your memories from your time at the academy.
Yes. 40 years.
That's a long time.
Exactly.
Wait, 40 years?
I am 62. Make sure if I can say it right. I am 63 years old.
I mean,
Quite the age
guess,
for a dragonborn.
I guess that I, of all people, shouldn't be surprised by that.
40 years is a really long time. Do you not remember anything from that?
I have glimpses. I have whispers and ghosts lingering in my mind.
Oh.
Powerful the contract may be, the contract is specific. I remember most of my day to day, but whenever it wasn't a assignment done by the professors, my own work and study hours are lost.
That's awful.
Good thing I made it is, which is why I accepted his invitation.
Invitation? Sorry, that cut off real bad. Invitation. Probably a question I should ask later.
For now, call it justice.
Okay.
Right. Well then, let's start with the simpler spell to change, and then we can move up to the more difficult things. Starting with, and he flicks through his book until he gets to one of the later pages, where you can see one half of, like, the right book page. The right page of the book he's on is blank right now, but the left has some new writing in it, some that looks a little bit fresh and well inked. And there's a diagram there that shows what seems to be similar to a drawing that you all saw in Aldestrel's personal study, which is of a hand highlighting one of the bones. There's a whole lot of runes surrounding it that you don't quite recognize. All right. Now, here goes nothing. Whenever you're ready, Little John, just give me the word.
Little John, like, takes a seat to prepare himself. Like, okay, do it.
I'm gonna give him fucking nothing. Guidance.
They're gonna give you nothing.
I thought I had blessed.
Word?
I do not.
Let me give him a quick roll 1d20.
Out of character, but I could just imagine Simba.
Simba.
Oh, Little John.
And he just like whispers in his ear like, good luck.
Good luck licks your ear.
Good luck.
So you're the monk.
Oh no, sorry,
He
he's
gives him,
a dragon
wet willy with his tongue. Yeah, he gives him wet willy with his tongue, and then immediately goes like, "Oh fuck, I could taste that. I should have just used my finger."
No, he's a dragonborn. He has more like a snake's tongue.
Dragon. I don't do that whole tongue
He could
thing.
smell it. That's worse. He can smell and taste it. That's two senses.
Awful.
I can actually taste it because I'm a snake.
Oh my god.
So
Makes
he
it
rolled.
Anyway.
So Henrik rolled terrible, but don't worry,
Okay.
that's only going to be terrible for him.
Oof.
So
Okay, gotta scramble my brain, brother.
Oh, and also that little riff just now made me think of a character. Like, what if you had a character who tried to cast spells just based on their name? So guidance would be
Makeshift
them just
bitter.
giving advice on directions.
Makeshift. Bitter.
And chill touch would just be them giving somebody a wet willy.
Oh,
Or like-
Kate's mein Bruder,
or like-
Geist.
Chill touch is when you get into bed with your partner and like your feet are really cold
Bruh.
and they go,
no,
"Oh,
don't say that.
fuck, that's cold."
No, not giving me pieces of
Greece,
steak.
they just go to the country.
Oh my god.
And so he just made a just go to the country. He just got a bad roll, but would you all like to go on a bathroom break, and I'll share the results of that roll afterwards?
You know
Yeah,
what?
that sounds
Hell
fun.
yeah, let's do it.
I can heat up my food.
Go piss, people! Whoa! I definitely didn't click the unmute button too early. I promise that's not what happened at all. Anywho, we're back with more bullshit. Time to scramble Little John's brain.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready to have more brain damage.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we know, buddy. We know.
The 10th concussion. Let's go.
Yeah, the
Hell
10th
yeah.
commandment. Concuss him.
Anyway, Makeshift, take it away.
Word. So, as you see, I keep mixing up all my NPCs. As you see Henrik raising up his hand, he's raising up his right hand. He's kind of gripping on it, almost as if he's holding some sort of weapon that he maybe wants to keep a little bit away from him, or maybe keep stable. He points his finger, his middle finger, with all of his other fingers stretched out, towards Little John. He starts
flips him
mumbling. Basically. Nah.
Oof.
But,
Maybe choking my food.
he's pointing all of his fingers towards Little John, and he's mumbling some sort of arcane words and incantations. And his hand starts to give off this glow that's very similar to the one that you saw from Roko's bones as you damaged him. And specifically, the first digit of his middle finger starts to glow through the flesh. You know, like when you hold a flashlight behind your finger, you could like see the bone shadow. You get something sort of like that from his hand right now. As after a moment, the spell starts to progress, and then you see one of his pinkies snap backwards, and he winces in pain, but keeps going through the spell until you can see it kind of like calms down and the glow goes away. But it doesn't really seem like anything, like nothing shot out of his hand. It wasn't like a flash of light. It seemed to just kind of calm back down as he then like carefully like tends to his finger.
How did it go? Sharp said, knowing fully well how it went.
Well, it was painful, but Little John, how did it go? And Little John, in the moment where his hand ceased glowing, you could feel an odd shift occur inside your mind. You know that feeling of like when you got like a clogged up nose and
Yeah.
you're sick, and like the nasal cycle occurs and like it switches from left to right, and like that one passage just gets really cleared up all of a sudden. And it's like, oh, I can breathe again. You know that feeling?
I know that feeling very well.
Motherfucker, just blow your nose.
No.
You get that feeling, you get a sensation like that in your mind, where all of a sudden your memories of the small farm you grew up on seem to alter. And rather than being at a farm, you can see that those memories are just of a stable that's up against a much larger manor. And it seems like your memories were scrubbed of the larger building. And in actuality, a lot of your childhood seems to be occurring within the courtyard of this large building. And it seems rather luxurious, and you recall quite clearly that this is the manor of the Valentius family.
You just see John like having his hands like on his head, like, you know, that strong kind of thing of just like realization. It's just like, oh, that can't work. No. Like he's just confused. It's like the process, like, is this the real memory?
Little John, are you doing all right?
You okay, buddy?
The farm wasn't real, or was real, but not there. I saw not the farm, but a big house, a mansion, manor. Valentius?
Can I roll a history?
Yes, you can.
Got myself. There it is. 25.
Damn.
You
Well done.
immediately, in your head, connect the dots between seeing his flesh look to be connected to Valentius's magic, or at least Death's magic, hearing him say the courtyard and the mansion, the manor, and then saying Valentius's name, and the fact that his memories have been altered, and Rocco was seemingly had this kind of like almost kinship or tender affection towards Lil John. And it all snaps together, and you realize Lil John's childhood occurred at the Valentius Manor.
And I assume Rocco's last name would be Valentius.
Indeed, you do recall that info.
Oh shit.
You guys see Charms have a very clear aha moment, because as soon as John says that, he just puts a hand over his mouth instead of his beard as he just looks at John and says, "Well, the sins of your father are great indeed."
Huh?
Great, great indeed.
What am I missing?
You're missing quite a bit. Valencia is a last name. One that happens to be attached to someone we currently hate quite thoroughly. Roku.
Oh, that's right. Based on the name translations, that is the way to pronounce it. Roku, Rocco, Valentius, Valentinus. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's why I couldn't divine as much as I wanted to from Little John.
All the talks about finding the descendants, and we had one right here. Truly, fate laughs, and her laugh is the cruelest of all.
I think Fate's actually met. Actually, I'm not really sure if they're a man.
Little importance. The next question becomes, what can we do with this information? Oh, of course. Talia. No, Plia. Which one is it?
It's Talia. You were correct.
Talia.
I fucked my players. I'm so sorry.
You're doing this all.
Yeah.
Talia.
She looks up and was clearly trying to not interact with what was going on. Like, yeah, no, this isn't my bit. I'm just gonna sit over here. But when you call her name, she like looks up from like giving Maya some scratches. Yes.
We never told you who murdered your mother, did we?
No.
And Charms is gonna look to Pepper, the breaker of bad news.
What? What now?
What happens now? I do not know. I have no idea, and I am interested.
I'm going to assume that this Roko person might have killed my mom, judging by
He
the way you said that.
very much did.
And I'm going to assume by all of your reactions he's incredibly powerful, especially if you're mentioning bloodlines.
He is a lich
Oh.
of unique proportions.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like liches.
Instead of
No.
focusing a phylactery to a single item, he has made his descendants phylacteries.
Multiple?
Sources of power, places to store souls.
Yeah, I know what a phylactery is, but descendants, that's... I've never heard of that happening, and I've only read a couple stories about liches, but that doesn't sound common.
Lichdom has little interest in me. I have little interest in lichdom, so I cannot speak for its commonality. I know of phylacteries, of it requiring feeding souls, and that also being where your power is sourced from. Which means... And he's gonna, lay a hand on John's shoulder, palm up. We have a source of his power right here. And we can work our way backwards from here.
What do you plan to do? Kill this guy?
No.
That is... Wait, what?
No.
No, not him.
Oh,
the
and-
other one.
Yes.
No, he
The
seems
lich?
nice. Especially he looks upset, so I don't think you should kill him. No, the one that killed my mom.
Yes, I mean, that is my plan. I don't know about the rest of them.
Well, we can't do very much with him constantly interfering. So yes, his death is necessary, I hate to say.
If
But
you
as I will...
don't mind me asking, why is all this happening? Doesn't seem like... No offense, but you people don't seem like the people that my mom would hang around. I'm just... You don't have to tell me everything. I'm curious as to what happened, especially why you, and she points over at Henrik, and the rest of you. It's just confusing. I'm gonna shut up now.
No, please don't. Talia, if you ever have trouble understanding something, don't hide that. Okay? Not from us, at least. There will be times where it's useful to obscure that from other people, but if you don't know something, we may be able to help you know something. Don't stop asking questions. Please don't stop asking questions.
Okay. I won't.
Good. Good.
Well, could I at least get an answer to that one, though?
What was the question, sorry?
What? How the
Henrik.
fuck did all of you get together, essentially?
Henrik
Oh.
invited us
Hendrik.
for a tour of the Azul Moon Academy.
Oh.
After which he gave us a job proposition, which we all accepted. During this job, we gained the wrath of Roku by merely having an item of his interest.
So a thief and a murderer, then.
Precisely.
Pretty much.
Welcome to a welcome to a gang of criminals.
What?
To be more accurate, Talia, I gathered everyone here using powers that I myself. You see him fidget for a moment as he looks for the words. I borrowed and learned from a woman who, well, you'll likely never meet. Her name was Shanti, a lovely woman, but an incredible diviner. And with her abilities, I was able to gather the knowledge of all the people I would need. And it was to help assemble a team of people who would all mutually benefit from obtaining the magic you just saw get used. For example, Little John has some of his memories back, and pretty soon I'll be able to restore them, all the rest of them, and the rest of Charms, and possibly even freeing myself of captivity.
Can I roll to see how, like, if I notice how much he's hiding from me?
Yes, go for it. It is not a difficult roll.
Yeah, and I got a 5 on it. Autism powers, deactivate!
Wouldn't it be insight?
He seems to be stuttering a good bit. But I don't know. Maybe he's just on the spot and he's not a good speaker.
Are you nervous or are you hiding something?
Define hiding something.
Are you not telling me something? Like,
No, that is really the whole truth, for the most part.
doesn't seem like it.
Don't,
But you could also just be a really bad public speaker.
Don't throw in for the most part there. It never makes it sound convincing, even if it is the truth.
Look, if you guys
That's
are
a
worried that
good
I'm gonna,
idea.
like, report you or something like that, I don't care. That sounds really bad. Like, I know you're supposed to follow the law and stuff, but sometimes the laws are really stupid. Like, there's one in Baron's Eve where you're not supposed to ride a mule while also carrying, like, children's toys. It's weird. It's really weird. So laws don't necessarily make something moral. So I don't really care if you did something you're not supposed to do. As long as it wasn't, like, I don't know, burning down an orphanage or something. Doesn't really bug me all that much. I mean, animals do worse things to each other every day in the wild, so.
I have done quite the opposite, in fact.
You built an orphanage?
A few.
Oh, okay. You're being serious.
But
okay.
I am. There are very few times I'm not.
That's gonna be very helpful.
It's very taxing, actually.
Not for me. I don't like it when people don't tell me things.
That's fair.
Well, let me tell you then. If you're going to...
Please.
If we're go... We were hired by Henrik here to help him escape from Aldestrel's horde. To do that, a bargaining chip was needed. The very same bone that belongs to Moros. We were successful in our heist.
Uh-huh.
Afterwards, we found a new tail following along, the one being Rocco Valencia.
Okay. Makes sense. That was much easier. You can, yeah, just do that. And she, like, points over at Charms and looks at Henrik. Just do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Keep
may not look
working
it, but I actually know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. So you don't have to really hide things from me. I'm just really awkward.
It's okay.
We've been working with Alderic to a certain extent. He's been of great help to test the limits of what Roku is capable of.
I'm gonna guess it's a lot that he's capable of.
He is one that doesn't take a punch and falls down.
Well, I'd assume not, if he's powerful with Moros's magic. Either way, do you have a plan on what you're going to do?
Well, depends which part you're referring to. We either need to kill the main body of that lich and prevent him from, being able to transfer to any of his offspring or what have you, but well, yeah, we either need to find a way to kill the lich, and we need to do that anyway. And hopefully amongst that we'll be able to get the materials and knowledge together to bring back your mother.
So, how do I word this? I'm in
You want
like
the
right now.
particulars of the plan? Oh, right now.
Oh,
Because if you're going to just sit here and think about things, then I think I'd like to try and find my mom's body, at least. Unless it's also in here.
I was about to ask, would you like to come and see your mother?
makeshift.
Yes.
Can I roll Arcana to see if I know about the spell Soul Cage?
Yes.
Fucking greasing up.
More guidance. She watches you do that again, like, I need to know what that is at some point. Just turns, watches you do it, turns back away.
Wipes forehead.
30!
Holy shit! A 30! Dear God!
You know all the magic.
What's the name?
Yeah.
Soul Cage.
What's the name of the spell?
Soul Cage. It's a 6th level necromancy known by warlocks and wizards.
Let me just take a quick
That-
look at this.
That is almost an absolute perfect rule.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the spells list and the thing I have. I don't see.
Sanafor's Guide to Everything. Page 165.
I'll just type it into Google to see if I can. Soul Cage.
Two words.
Let's see here, just so I don't trip over myself with lore accuracy here. So I thought I got everything. One reaction. Use even since if he dies. Steal life, query soul. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to this.
Yes, the very
spell
beginning
save.
is the most important bit.
I'm gonna say, based on that absurd roll you just got, you know all the details about Soul Cage, like everything about that spell.
Could I theorize that if we had this spell ready at hand, that it could be used on Roku if we kill the body, forcing his soul to move to another, and in that move, catch it with Soul Cage?
It is very possible as long as you can identify that his soul is moving between bodies. However, that does sound like theoretically it should work.
Charms scratches his beard for like cartilage beard as for speaking. I think if I know of a spell which could theoretically work to not have to chase down every single time, to not have to chase him down. There is a spell called Soul Cage. It's known to those who carry pacts or those of wizards. quite the nasty necromancy spell. It basically captures the soul of a person within line of sight within 60 odd feet. And as far as I know, while the soul is trapped, it cannot be revived.
That sounds useful.
And it is incredibly useful, especially if he does transport between bodies via his own soul.
So if you killed one body, you might be able to trap his soul before it moves to another one?
Precisely. And then we would have 8 hours on us to destroy his soul.
Well, if you
Because
had the
once
power
this-
of one of the Grand Dragons, maybe they could destroy it. Just a thought.
Realistically, we'll only have the help of Aldrich. Aldestrel is still quite angry at our stunt. And the
Yeah, I'd
dragons
be
are
angry too.
great, but they aren't all powerful.
Well, maybe if you had the help of a god.
Moros would not help us.
I wasn't talking about Moros. There's a bunch of them.
We have no contact with any other gods as far as I'm aware. But
So they don't actually listen to prayers?
Everybody give me a perception check.
17, baby!
3.
Perception.
11. Ah!
11.
Give me
Everybody,
some of that ranger
everybody
wisdom,
above it.
baby.
everybody above a 10, you see Henrik just like look over towards Wolverton and then look back towards the conversation.
Can I, like, see if I can make that connection? Because I got 17. Is there, like, a history thing, or it's like is there something that I could roll to be like, wait, why'd he look at her? Oh, wait. Short blonde.
Yeah,
Oh!
give me either a religion or history check,
History
and
is-
I won't put it at disadvantage because you're also a fae. Just like
Yeah, history or religion. She'd probably go with history. They're both a 2, so I'm gonna get fucked either way. 20, baby! Let's go!
A god.
I am a god.
Nonsense.
Dirty
So-
20.
30-20.
You as you see him just like look over towards Leverton as you say that, and then look back at the conversation with this look of like, yeah. You see him do that glancing motion, and it clicks in your head like, oh, they kind of look like Leverton. I remember a story about that.
She's gonna hop off. She's gonna like hop off her stool. She's gonna walk over to Leverton. She's not gonna get close. Like she doesn't want to touch her. But she just kind of like looks at Leverton, walks around her a bit, looks down. Is this Leverton, or I'm just need to get my glasses checked again?
No.
Wow, you're
that's
just
their
like your
name.
mother. But yes, that's most likely her.
Thanks. But yeah, we have stories about Leverton. That's, I mean, not a lot of them, and I think most of them are different. But I know who this is, and well, and she kind of like does a. It's not like the full-fledged Will Smith like ta-da type thing, but it's a little bit. It's like she displays, does little jazz hands. I mean, you have this god. I mean, you don't talk all that much, but maybe she could contact somebody? Could
Well,
you?
how about it, Leverton? Could you do you know anybody who's willing to help us with this? And, kill a lich? The virgin just, stares back at Henrik for a moment. And, puts a hand on her cheek in, a thinking pose. Or, blinks. And then she shakes her head in a no motion.
Well, what about you? Would you help then?
She gives a thumbs up.
Ta-da! You have a god willing to help. Pretty powerful one if the stories are to be believed.
I mean, you're not currently in power, though, are you? I mean, I do appreciate the help. I'm worrying that Talia might have got the wrong impression.
What wrong impression?
Laverton lifts up a hand and gives the side to side hand motion.
Are you on leave? You're taking a break? You're just on holiday for a bit?
She doesn't give any response to that. But she does point up towards her eyes and give a thumbs up.
I don't know what that means, Levin, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you.
Well, Laverton did seem intent on at least trying to kill the Lich for some reason.
Oh, if anyone knows how.
Yeah, they've certainly been tagging along with us for probably that reason, I think. Maybe something about a loved one. It was hard to discern. They don't talk very much. But, well, we have a god who's at least willing to try and kill him. Hopefully that's enough firepower, but just in case, I think I might know of one other dragon.
No.
Who's, well, listen, we were already going to be in the area for researching magic. He might be helpful if he's not drunk as a skunk.
Who? Wait. Can I see if I know who this is? Can I see if I know who this is?
Wait, this is
Go
not
for it.
Alstrel, is it?
No, you give me a history check, I guess?
Can I have it at advantage
Yeah,
since I'm
check.
autistic about dragons?
Yes.
Yeah!
9.
With the TISM advantage.
Tism advantage worked, bitch! 19!
Sharms was thrown up with drunk as a skunk, wait, that doesn't sound like Alstrel.
So, Lil John, do you wanna roll history?
I just realized my mic
Oh,
muted.
yeah, I'll roll history. Let's
Oh,
go.
damn.
Never mind.
Yeah, you don't know this.
My mind's too broken from the truth.
So what do I know? Tell me.
You recall, you can't quite recall the name, but you do know that there is word of another grand dragon of the same status as Alderic and Aldestrel, who lives over in a very waterlogged sunken city that's known for its art. And he's
Do I know the name? Do I know the name of the city?
Yes, it is. Let me take a quick look. Parados. Or Parados, yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the grand dragon that lives in Parados? The one that's real south? The pretty one with the art and the swamp and the... Oh, that one's supposed to be really cool. It's supposed to be slightly aquatic. I can't remember their name, though. Did you say they got drunk?
Real quick. Talia, real
Well,
quick. Maybe don't just a heads up. Maybe don't refer to people as that one or it. Just a quick little.
I don't know their name.
No, I know, but they maybe. It tends to make people feel objectified or like you're treating them like an animal, especially dragons. They can be somewhat sensitive to it. Not all of them, but I've known a few.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh. Dragons are quite sensitive to which title you use.
You don't know until you're told, right?
I've just never met one before, so... I've never met a dragon before.
Hmm.
Well, personally, I've never actually met that one, but from what Aldestrel would tell me, he is not particularly pleasant.
Hmm.
But I suppose we'll see.
You wouldn't happen to know Soul Cage, do you?
Myself? Oh no, that's far beyond my abilities right now. I'd need to see somebody use it if I had any prayer of using it myself.
So, not only do we need to find the spell, or find someone who cast it in the first place, we also need a silver cage worth 100 gold pieces.
Well, depending on how large the cage has to be, I feel like the person we're about to meet might have access to something of that sort.
Tiny. He holds up like a quick dimension. And it's no larger than his like a hand and a half.
Yeah, that might be the sort of thing this dragon might have access to.
Alright. Well then. How about this? I will go and... Unless you happen to have a transportation in mind, Hendrik.
No, I'm all open to suggestions.
Well then. Shall get in contact with the smugglers I was in contact last. I'll arrange us passage to Pladoris, was that it?
Parados.
No. Parados, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, you should go to Malin. And he says that too. Sleep is starting to fucking eat me alive.
Talia.
Talia!
The child.
You?
She kind of looks at you for a second and looks a little uncomfortable before nodding. Mm-hmm.
Does this sound like a good plan to everyone?
Okay.
Sounds good to me. I'll get my things packed.
So am I coming with you guys, or am I staying here?
If you wish,
Yes, please.
then you're welcome aboard.
Let's go. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And so, I'm gonna say whoever goes with Talia to Alderic's place, that's Group A. Group B is whatever else is going on during that time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it cool if I just time skip whoever goes there?
Hell yeah, brother, just time skip.
Word. And so, everybody who is going there, be it just Talia or anybody else, I feel like Henrik would probably not go.
Okay, who does want to accompany Talia to see the body of her dead mother and possibly meet a grand dragon?
I do.
Okay.
Emotional support buddies.
Cool.
Word. So Pepper, Little John, Charms, are you coming?
Yeah,
no, he's going to talk to the smugglers to get us away out of the city.
Oh, word.
Bruh.
The bruh.
And I'll say Henrik stays behind and gets things packed and sorted to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Baller.
All right. And so you three go to meet Alderic. You enter in through the front entrance, and the lady from before, the secretary, that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
She sees you and recognizes you because Alderic told them that Little John and Pepper would probably be swinging by. She described the group to his. They know you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to say that Maya is back on Talia's shoulders, so I do have my little dragon with me.
Yeah.
Word. And the secretary walks you to an area which is sort of this it looks to be a place of worship, and there's a few clerics kind of meandering about doing prayers, tending to the wounded. And on the far side of this area, there's like this area with these pillars that are covered by blankets or like fine cloths.
Mm.
And you can see from this distance, it looks like Alderic is waiting over by that area
In what form?
in his human form.
Okay,
this,
cool.
This is a smaller space, not designed for him.
Yeah, just making sure. I need to know what he looks like so Talia doesn't absolutely shit herself.
Yeah.
So Talia doesn't know what his human form looks like, so she's just like looking around at everything going, oh, this is nice. This is nicer than anything I've literally ever seen before.
And as Alderic notices all of you, he waves over to Pepper and Lil John and goes, "Ah, good evening, you two. I presume my secretary let me know that there was a Fey folk with you that they didn't recognize. Is this..."
This, it would turn out, is Talia. She is Valen's child.
She looks at Pepper, looks at Alderic, looks back at Pepper, and her eyes have gone like real wide, like, is this who I fucking think it is? Is this who I fucking think it is?
Also, when we get inside, you might want to show her your other form, because otherwise I think she might explode.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Talia. And she does the same, like, awkward handshake thing that she did to Pepper and Henry.
You do that, and he's like bending himself at nearly a 90-degree angle
Oof.
at the hip just to like reach down to you and shake your hand, because he's literally double your height, basically.
Yeah.
He big.
Are you Alderic?
Indeed, I am he.
Oh. You can see that she's trying to not ask 1,000 questions. It's like vibrating within her.
Now, Talia, I have some unfortunate news for you.
I know.
And I presume that you're here to pay your last respects.
Hopefully not my last, but yes.
He raises an eyebrow. Oh?
I plan to find sorry. I plan to find out how to do the resurrection spell. I heard a few legends of it back in the village, and I'm gonna do it. Once I figure everything out, of course.
Well, none of the clerics here were capable of performing the spell. However, they were capable of preserving her. So, until the time comes when you are able to perform it, she shall be here, and she shall be safe.
Can I see her?
Of course.
Thank
Lift
you.
the cloth at the far end of this pillar when you're ready.
Thank you. And she'll, like, kind of hold both hands behind her back and gently approach the body under the cloth. And
You do that, and you can pretty clearly see there's like one antler,
yeah,
like the silhouette of one under the blanket.
yeah. She'll gently pull the cloth down, probably towards like Mullen's midsection, so she can see her face. And that
You do that?
that
Yeah.
kind of when Pepper had first tried to break the news to her, and you know they're talking about her mom's death, she didn't really show much emotion. But now here it's starting to crack, and her hand is shaking slightly, and she looks like she's trying to force herself not to cry as she just looks at Mullen. She doesn't say anything. She slowly kneels down next to her, and she gently takes Mullen's hand. It's cold.
Hmm.
I don't like this. And she lets go of Mullen's hand and will gently replace the cloth and stand back up. And she will quickly turn away and start walking out.
I'll go. Pepper just follows her.
You do that.
She will walk away from the healing area, and she's not exactly sure where she's going. So she just looks around for kind of a secluded hallway, and she'll move into the hallway, find the nearest corner, and she'll squat just for a second and put like both hands around the back of her neck and try to again force herself not to cry.
Give me a roll to see if you don't cry.
Sure, I'll give you
emotions check.
I'll give you charisma 5.
You do
Autism
in fact
powers.
shed a tear.
Yeah,
It's hard to keep it in.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not a pretty crying. She's still trying to hold it back, but it's that kind of emotion that just bursts its way forth. And she kind of rocks slightly on her hooves, trying to self-soothe, but she just can't.
Pepper sort of gently reaches out her hand as if to offer to sort of check that it's okay before she actually before she actually gives any physical reassurance. She's not quite sure what to do with this new and obviously very different from her mother person. How best to console her aside from just existing there. But after a moment's hesitation, she eventually sort of pops a hand on the shoulder. Would you like a hug?
She doesn't say anything, but she just nods.
Pepper just pulls her into the crook of her neck and shoulder and just holds her.
As you put your arms around Talia, she kind of clings to you a little bit, like tightening her hands in the back of your shirt. And she's still trying to not cry, but it's breaking. It's like a crack expanding, and she's like, don't like crying.
Yeah. It's not easy.
It hurts my head. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry.
Sometimes you need to let yourself cry to get it out so you don't end up having to do it later as well. Let the feelings run through you. Let them come out the other side. Let yourself feel them. And then you don't have to sit on them. You don't have to have it keep happening to you the same way. It'll make it easier in the long run. Just relax and just cry.
And at that point, the dam breaks, and she buries her face in the crook of your neck and just breaks down. And finally has that emotional release that she really hasn't let herself feel since Moros showed up and told her, your mom's dead. And it goes on for a while, probably a good 5 to 8 minutes before she's finally hiccuping and calming down just enough to get steady breath back.
It's gonna be okay. I promise you. In some way or another, it's gonna be okay.
She kind of shakes her head and pulls away and rubs her eyes with the back of her. She like pulls her glasses off and rubs the back of rubs her eyes with the back of her hand. You always say it's gonna be okay, and it's. I know it will. Just. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like this feeling. It hurts my head. It doesn't do anything.
I hate it too. I hate the feeling of just seeing someone that you love laid out like that. The cold grip isn't nice. It's especially when you're not sure if or when you'll actually see them again, alive, or if you know that you won't. It's horrible. And that's why it makes you cry. But it's it kind of makes it more real, I guess, in a way.
You see,
It's the most normal thing in the world.
you see Maya kind of crawl off of Talia's shoulders and put both of the dragon's front paws on Talia's chest, and Talia wraps both arms around the dragon and holds her close. Well, I'm gonna see her again, and I'm gonna do this spell, and then I'm gonna go home, and everything will be fine.
Talia. I will give my life to make sure that you see her again.
You shouldn't promise things like that.
You're right, I shouldn't. But that won't stop me.
You do seem kind of like the person that's gonna do things anyway, no matter what somebody tells you.
Yeah, I've been told that. I've been told that a lot.
Well, at least with your help, it seems more possible now.
Well, she saved my life. The least I can do is try and repay that.
I see why she liked you. At least I'm hoping she liked you. In the letter, she said she liked you.
She did she?
She wouldn't have given you that letter if she didn't like you, so.
I suppose that's true.
Where'd Little John go?
Oh, I assume he's walking with you.
Yeah, Streaky, where's Little John?
I was kind of hiding in the corner because I didn't want to intrude the emotions.
Oh,
It's like John saying like the serious moment he didn't want to intrude. Like, I think Pepper got this, and like as you say that, he kind of heard you like peek his head out. I was like, oh, I'm here. Didn't
okay. Good, you
want to
didn't get
interrupt
lost.
you guys.
As big as is big, I would have gotten lost. We should probably go back now. I don't think I want to meet Alderic in his form like this.
Yeah. I have some of her belongings that I'll let you go through when we get back to the inn, back to the cafe.
Okay.
Okay. Let's head on back then.
And Talia will let go of Maya, who will climb back on her shoulders, curl around her neck like a cat, and Talia will stand up, ready to go.
Nice. You do that. Can I time skip you back to the cafe?
Abso-fucking-lutely, brother.
Yeah.
And by me.
Word. And so you're all back at the cafe. And at this point, I only really need to just like... I guess there's not... Is there anything you all want to do while you're still at the cafe before you leave on the smuggling cart?
Thank the cafe owner for all their generosity.
Yeah. Fucking pay him.
Yeah.
Hold on now. I said generosity.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Rich Man. Fucking trying to be a little cheapskate over here.
And he thanks you right back. He's... Yeah, don't mention it. It's oh Henrik a favor.
Talia's just gonna stand kind of near the entrance, rocking back and forth on her hooves.
This is some of the items that she had. A lot of it was, she had some weapons and what have you. I've kept her rations and her rope, because I mean you'll have some of that as well anyway. Like, those are just supplies, but there's a locket, some skulls, and some weapons for you to sort through here from your mum.
She'll go through them, and like she takes basically everything except for most of the weapons and like some of the supplies. She'll basically just take a dagger, the skulls, and the locket. And then she will take her backpack off and take everything out of her backpack and put it like nice and neat on the bar, and then start repacking it. And Pepper, you notice like as she's doing this, there's like a little book on the bar that's it's labeled as a joke book, and it's got like a funny little illustration on the front. And then she will start putting things away, and she leaves the joke book till one of like the very last things before she picks it up and starts to put it away.
What's that on the front of that book there?
Oh, and she'll like take it back out, and she'll kind of show it to you. She won't hand it to you, but she'll like turn it around so you can see. One of the people in the village who gave this to me. Can I speak English, motherfucker? One of the people in the village gave this to me. You fuck off.
It's called common.
Shut up.
Called common, motherfucker. England isn't real.
England isn't real.
My God.
Oh my god. Anyway, one of the people. Motherfucker. One of the people. This time's the charm. One of the people in the village gave this to me. It it was supposed to help me make friends. And she'll like turn to you and she'll flip the joke book open. And she looks at you for a second, goes, did you know that before crowbars were invented, crows mostly drank alone?
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's quite good.
Could John hear the jokes?
Up to you, man.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you're there.
So John hears it, does a little chuckle, so it's like there's like a little chuckle here. Just like
she looks emboldened by your chuckle, and she flips more pages and starts with another one.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
My wife claims that I'm the cheapest person she's ever met, but I'm not buying it.
Oh, you are gonna kill it.
Another one.
Okay. And she'll flip to another one. I don't want to brag, but I finished the jigsaw puzzle in a week, and it said 2 to 4 years on the box.
John's laughing becomes more and more obvious from like chuckles to like a straight up laugh. Knee slapping. It's like an old knee slapper.
Pepper is immediately like, I'm gonna make more. I'm gonna write another book. I'm gonna do a second one.
Or 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Hey Angels,
That's
where's
off character.
Charms at?
Oh, he is. Let's hold. Give me
Please
1
laugh.
second.
Laugh, motherfucker.
There's a smile on his face.
I wish I had dragon jokes, because then I would totally make one for him.
Yeah.
But she'll flip one more, and she'll do one more joke.
Oh, hey, Talia, what did you
what?
say your favorite type of animal was?
Dragons. I really like dragons.
Dragging these nuts.
No.
What?
Add that to your joke book.
She looks at you like a little stunned for a second, and then she's like,
John looks over to you and just like, you did fucking not say it, but it gives that like, you did not fucking say that.
like,
You're this fucking child.
she just starts laughing really hard at it.
Fry's giggling in real life, but also in character.
And she'll grab like a pen out of her bag, flip to the back of it, and just start writing it down. Dragon these nuts.
Quite often people will put like across your forehead or across your chin or something like that on the end of it.
Oh, okay,
I like keeping it succinct, but if you do the whole line, then that means someone who hasn't heard it before maybe can also understand.
Oh, okay. Do you like dragons? Dragging these nuts.
Yeah, there you go. Across your forehead, yeah.
Across your forehead, yeah. I can't believe you're
John is
teaching her
very,
this.
John is now just doing that like processing life kind of laugh, just like no.
She's 14. She's gotta know. She's gotta know these jokes.
I can't believe you taught Talia the these nuts joke.
Of course I did.
Oh my god.
Please, I want Tully to use vicious mockery now. There's a fucking these nuts.
These nuts. Oh my god. It's really good. I'm gonna remember that one.
Congratulations.
I probably shouldn't tell that one to a dragon though, right? They might find that offensive.
They may.
You'd be
they
scorched.
may. But also,
I don't want to be
like,
scorched.
sometimes it's just worth a go. Oh, you know what? Maybe if you just really are not getting along with a dragon and you want to throw the whole encounter out the window. You know, you're just like, I don't want you to care about me. You know, I want to annoy you. You can chuck that in there. It's probably a good idea. Sometimes you can't hurt somebody, but you can do psychological damage.
Dragon needs
Dragon
I
is
would
nuts.
highly advise to not tell that joke to a dragon.
No, I'm good. I don't want to be scorched, but it's really funny.
Oh,
What?
hey, Talia.
What?
If you ever end up in a fight with a dragon, maybe that's the line that you use before you strike them down. That's your killing blow line.
But I don't have, you know. And she makes like a little round motion with both hands, like
No.
she doesn't have nuts. Essentially, is what she's trying to say.
You don't need them. It's they're nuts in your heart. You know, it's a
What?
the conceptual nuts. You know.
This brings up a very good question indeed.
God is this crying on the floor.
Otherwise, Talia could also, and Pepper pulls out from her little ration bags, a little packet of trail mix. You could also just use this.
Oh,
Talia,
yes.
are you versed in any weaponry?
I know how to use a short bow, and I know a lot of spells. And Maya can fight too. I think she spits acid, or like has acid. I'm not exactly sure how her biology works, and I'm not sure if she's gonna let me figure it out. And she kind of looks at Maya on her shoulder, and Maya like lifts her head, shakes it a little bit, and kind of disrupts some of that fun little like floof on her neck, and then puts her chin back down.
Can I tell that Maya is a familiar, like conjured?
Makeshift.
I was kind of hoping Maya would just like cough a hairball of acid. just like
one more time. One more time, if you can tell she's what?
If she's a conjured, like find familiar sort of thing.
Give me an arcane check.
I love to do those, baby. 21.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is not conjured. This is like an independent life form that's following her around.
Ah.
Will it? Is it? I mean, actually, yeah, it is sapient.
Yeah.
She is sapient.
Maya does respond. She's, yeah.
Sapiens does not exclude conjured beings, as I was thinking that Maya was something akin to a familiar, but no, I see now it's not.
I've only had her for like a day. Like I said, Moros gave her to me.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out the full extent of your capabilities as well as Maya's. One never knows what happens on a journey.
I can do this, and she's gonna cast thaumaturgy to do she's gonna make the cry of a raven come from like behind everybody. That one's really basic, but I can do it. It works really well for distracting people. It distracted the guy that I rode out on his cart. Wait. English. Common. Fuck! I threw myself out of it.
I have you now.
It distracted the guy that I stowed away in his cart.
Well then, are we all ready for our journey?
You know, I think I am.
Talia gives 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Nice. And so, you all set out with the smugglers to get into... I have to go look at my notes.
Parados.
Parados, in the slightly faster way than would be done through the official route. And let me quickly look at the time right now. There is one more scene I could do, but I could also say let's end it there.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm starting to lose it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like we got a real
baby.
EE cast on tonight.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
call
like
it there for the
close-
night.
This is like the closing, like almost happy. It's like we're starting a new adventure. End credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So that's been
indeed.
tonight's session, everybody.
Woo!
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
Hooray!
my
I'm gonna
brain
make a
is less
toasted
than
sandwich
Toasted
hungry.
sandwich
with
What?
fries, motherfucker.
with
So what is
fries.
included in a toasted sandwich besides toast?
Probably.
Bread, butter, cheese, spices.
Okay, not gonna lie, this may be my brain still in John mode, but the second I heard a toast sandwich, I immediately thought 2 pieces of bread and a piece of toast in between.
I actually
he
thought that
really
as
is
well.
Little John
Like,
now. Oh
I didn't
man.
hear
Great
toast
degradation.
sandwich, but as soon as you said toast sandwich the second time, I was like, that's what I hear as well. I had 3 layers of bread. 3
Hell
bread.
No,
yeah.
this is
No, no.
2 raw pieces of bread, and then the centerpiece is the
Yeah.
toast.
Oh
You guys are
man.
getting that because you're not saying toasted.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's 3 breads of varying states.
Yeah.
Either way.
Speaking of
Tasty.
3 breads,
Yeah.
Makeshift, what have I
Toasted
been doing
birch
in your
raw.
walls this week?
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I
God,
forgot to
here
tell
we
that
go.
story at the start. So,
Oh, yeah.
I remember, like, this, like, we were on call again. Footage was on, as it usually is. But
Yeah.
I remember, like, we were sitting there, and, like, your camera was on. I think you forgot to turn it off, but you just said something like, oh, BRB, you guys gotta use the bathroom. And, like, you hit the mute button. But, like, Socks didn't stand up, and they, like, looked at their hand for a moment, and I think they had, like, a cut on it. It kind
Yeah,
of looked like
I
they
did.
had a little paper cut. And I then saw them, like, reach over at the, like, across their desk, and they, like, held up, it was, like, one of those, like, jars of honey, like a teddy bear, and they just, like, unscrewed the top of it and just knocked it back, and they're, like, their whole face in the jar, like, glowed like they were drinking Estus. And then they put it back down. They knocked it back really quickly. That must have incredible throat strength to drink honey that quickly. But
I
then
really
they
do.
looked at their finger again, and like the cut was just gone. And I was very confused by that. But then they just put their headset back on and clicked the unmute button, and were like, okay, I'm back, good buddy. And I was just like, did they just discover Estus? I feel like they should patent that.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Makeshift, for that lovely creative venture there. Thank you all for coming out to Untold Realms Ghostlight Theatre. We will not be back next week as I'm on vacation. So next Saturday there will not be any
Vacation.
Ghostlight Theatre. But we do still have the Reclamation on Tuesday. So do join us for that as we are exploring the undead city of Plectoon. And oh
we
boy.
actually just reached a castle.
You plaque on
I
my
mean-
tune.
She played on my tune to like Memphis. Anyway,
Can I go good old hot 2 on that?
no. Either way.
Oh my god, I'm
Bye.
tuning!
Stop. Anyway,
Good night, everyone.
yes. Good night. See you Tuesday. Adieu.
Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Adios.
Good
Adieu,
night.
Hoyle.